what's going on? So, this is an apology of sorts for the video as you're about to watch. Used the GoPro on the head mount. I've never done that before, so it was angled up a little bit high, so you're going to see a whole lot of headliner. I should have had it down a little bit more, maybe showed a little bit of the dash, but you got to remember I'm also a tall guy and this is a small car. So I'm 6'1", so it kind of puts me up a little bit more. So, and I don't have a height adjustment on my seat. I don't think I do. I might actually, but anyway, I didn't even think to adjust it. So just keep that in mind as you watch it. If I get enough complaints, maybe I'll redo it, but I'll probably just leave this as it is. Maybe I'll do something, play around with a little bit down the road, but probably work better in one of the trucks because of the higher roof. But anyway, so here you go. Enjoy the 2-year review and update on the Chevy Cruze. Well, good afternoon, YouTube. Something a little bit different here. We got the GoPro on the head mount, which I've hardly ever used. One key, one Chevy Cruze. This is the 2-year update on the car. Still starts, that's a good thing. Turn Willie Nelson off there. 19,434 miles. Hopefully that's showing up. Hopefully I got you in a decent field of view. As you can tell, it's not really a good day for an exterior video. So we'll do an inside drive. Actually got this idea from WRB. He's got a 2014 Cruze with the RS. His is an automatic, mine's a 6-speed. His is red, mine is white. Other than that, I think they're pretty much the same car. But need to get gas. Got 91 miles left on this tank. This is way lower than I usually like to run them. I usually don't go much below a quarter tank. But been a good car, trouble-free for the last 2 years. Let's see here, what button do I want to push? This one here, 403 miles in this tank, average 32.9 miles per gallon. Average speed of 31 miles per hour. 19,355 since I've had the car, average 35.6 miles per gallon. Average speed of 35 miles an hour. 546.5 gallons used. We're up to 95. What about this one? 30% oil life. So what was today? I think Thursday was the 2-year anniversary, if you will, of me owning this car. Actually still running off the factory wiper blades too. Not too bad. I got a new set in the trunk. I just haven't put them on. These are starting to streak. But when I bought the car, you can get 15 volts on the battery. You get your first 2 years up to 4 oil changes free. I got 2 oil changes out of it. Tire pressure, that's not correct for the location because the tire's been rotated a couple times, so one of them's going a little low. I'll have to check that. Tomorrow's supposed to be drier, so we'll see. Oh yeah, trashy place across the street. They wrecked the other Camaro, so I like to run with my fog lights on. It's the 24th of January. It's a Saturday. I'm off. We're gonna go run down and get some cash out of the machine. I get a little bit of a payout from the YouTube videos, from the ads, so that offsets a lot of the costs of things that I like to do throughout the year that I film for y'all. Also helps pay for vehicle maintenance and possibly a little trailer. Clutch is cold. We'll do a little cruise around first before we go. Don't hit the camera on the roof. See if I can sit a little bit lower in my seat here. But let's see, a few weeks ago we had a check engine light come on, and then kept telling me to check my gas cap, which was tight. and I was getting a little concerned. It was right after I got that ding in the door from the parking lot at work. But it cleared itself. I think what happened was right before the holiday break, I filled the car up, and you're not supposed to, but I topped it off. And actually, as I was filling it up too is when I noticed the scrape in the door, so I was kind of letting it run, wasn't watching it. So she got a little extra full, bubbled out of the filter neck, and then wound up riding down to the folks' place with my brother. So this thing sat with a full tank of fuel. So I'm thinking that a little bit extra fuel got into the system, maybe evaporated into the charcoal canister, if they even still use those. But I think the emission system's just kind of got a little overloaded. It did that for 3 or 4 nights, and then it cleared itself. But yeah, so I got the scrape in the door now. I got, I think, 3 spots on the front bumper, 2 in the back. Found another one not too long ago. And then a little chip in the windshield, but I haven't bothered with that because it's not spreading, and I got some stuff to repair it, but just been a little too cold and wet. Other than that, tires are wearing good, brakes are working just fine, motor still runs good, doesn't burn any oil, shouldn't with only 19,000 on the clock. Ride's good. One thing I wish I would have gone for, and I got anything else on the car, would be heated mirrors. For the simple fact, I don't know if you can see, they're a pretty decent sized mirror, and the glass sits back in the plastic a little bit in the mirror housing. They tend to fog up on the cool, misty nights. I would like to look in to see if I can just change out the glass, if that's just a simple swap out, and then pull the cover off here, see if there's a wiring connector in there, just plug them in. I'm guessing they run off the rear window defroster. So when I go in for the next oil change, I'll probably talk to the service guys or the parts guys and just see. I've looked online, they're not exactly cheap, but I don't know if that's, you know, do I have to swap the whole mirror out? And these have the color matched caps, so I don't know how those pop on and off. So do I just buy a cheap set that work and then swap over the colored portion? Let's go straight. Give you guys a couple minute video here. It's actually 45 degrees out. It's not too shabby. Hopefully you guys are getting a good view, good angle. I'm kind of trying to keep my head down a little bit more. But yeah, air conditioning still blows cold, heater blows warm. Does take a little bit for it to warm up on the cold nights, but that's one of the problems that I've read about these cars, is their cooling system's almost too efficient. Run the heater at full bore, and it just kind of sucks any heat the motor makes right back out and throws it into the cab. On the really cold nights, I'll usually let it idle in the parking lot until I see the temperature gauge start to move. And this year, when it's cold, I usually keep it, you know, down one more gear than I normally would drive it at. You know, going down the hill at 55 miles an hour, I'll keep it in 5th gear instead of 6th until it warms up a little bit more. Get a little RPM in it. And it seems to help. Yeah, been a good little car. I've been very happy with it. It's a little dirty right now. I haven't washed it in the last few months. It's been so wet, either wet or cold. We're not gonna go down to the far side of the lake. Got here, who's doing what? So I'm using my turn signal on the roundabout. Unlike some people that just went around. This guy, I think he had his on, so he's okay, but... Yeah, I like the way the car drives. I like the ride. That exhaust I put on is not the most soothing in my ears. Those like Stevens. I prefer a V8, but honestly, the only reason I really put the exhaust on is because I couldn't hear the thing running. It was too quiet, and I didn't like that. Also got the K&N under the hood too, which I haven't checked for a few months. Need to pop the hood and do a quick once over on that. Last time I looked, it was pretty clean still. Yeah, it's been a good little car. Very, very pleased with it. A little concerned with the check engine light, but it's cleared itself, so it wasn't running any different. I didn't notice a drop in fuel economy at all. And I do like the way this little car handles. Of course, small cars always handle better than the big junk I normally drive. Got here. Whee! Roundabouts everywhere now. You know, 3-4 years ago we didn't have any of them. And oh look, another one. Yeah, that guy doesn't even stop. Stop either, but I was there before he was. Whatever. Not a big fan of the roundabouts. Just drop down here by the lake, swing up past Target, and then head over to the ATM machine. My 2-year update. Got a nice little video series going already. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head how many people, close to 10 people, have sent me messages saying, I watched your video and it made me decide to go out and buy a Chevy Cruze. So maybe I should be getting a kickback from GM, huh? They are nice little cars. I do have 2 small rattles that come up every once in a while. One is in the passenger front door, and the other is in the plastic trim between the doors on the driver's side. It seems to be at a certain temperature, certain harmonics with the car, you know, with the RPM, and just, they're not overly invasive, but you do hear them. We'll do a little hill climb with the old 1.4 turbo. it's not a powerhouse, that's for sure, but it gets it done. There's been a couple of times where I'm getting on the freeway and I'm trying to merge with traffic, and you know, you just wish for just a little more horsepower, but it's also a manual transmission, so you just grab the next gear, and so we're pulling this in third right now. I think it'll do it in fourth, but let's go to the big ATM machine up the road, the little store. But yeah, fuel economy's been real good. Price of the car I was very happy with. I paid just under 20 for mine, brand new. Almost got the thing paid off already. I'm down to what, 4,000 owed on it. Not too bad for a, I think I took 13,000 out to buy it. Put a decent chunk down on it. We got a nice little performance bonus at work, so that was my down payment on this car. Way more than was required, but kept the payments to a very, very reasonable amount. Well under 300 bucks. But now it's been a nice little car. Still got the subwoofer in the trunk that I haven't even wired in yet. And this silver trim does bug me still. It doesn't fit the car to me. I bought a roll of carbon fiber, like a vinyl material to put on this, but I haven't been able to bring myself to come in here and start tearing the interior of the car apart. We'll do a parking lot test. Because we'll shut the camera off once I get up here to the food bank, call it the little satellite office, or gotta be careful. Some of these people just dart right out between cars, and you hit the brakes and they're glaring at you because it's your fault that you almost hit them. And you got goofballs like this just walking down the road when there's a good sidewalk to be on, but some people's kids. Alrighty, well, there you go. I'm gonna end this here, go inside and do what I need to do, and then swing over and get some fuel. So 19,439 miles. Didn't even quite do 10,000 this year. Thanks for following along. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing if you have. If you hadn't, go ahead and subscribe. I hate being the guy that asks for that stuff, but I guess that's what works. So we'll see you in another one of these videos in another year if I still got the car, and there's no reason I shouldn't. Unless I get hit by a drunk driver or something stupid, but knock on wood, or plastic. So alrighty. We'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.